Hey, what's going on, guys? Zach here. Get my face buzzed. Finally, I lost the razor guard that you can keep your beard trimmed with. It vanished, and I lost it for days. By days I mean like a week and a half. So I had this gargantuan beard, and really glad I found it because I felt really messed up. I was thinking about going to like a barber just to buzz the beard, but all is well. Glad you were worried. Wanted to chat a little bit about something that I've been kind of going through and doing. It's been helpful for me so far. I don't have that much experience with it yet, so updates later, but so far it's been really, really helpful. It's a scheduling thing. I'm one of those people that I have a lot going on. Let me rephrase. I'm one of those people that no matter what's going on, I'm always going to have a lot going on, not because I'm super important, but because I just fill my time with stuff. I just, I'm like, oh, this idea looks good, this idea looks good, let's do that, let's make sure I'm doing this, or, I want to, it's very rare that I'm just sitting around doing nothing. That's something that I've actually been planning in my calendar daily, is to have 45 minutes to an hour where I'm legit just doing nothing, meditation and maybe writing, but no plans necessarily, just nothing time. So because of that, I don't know what you call it, personality that I've got to just constantly stay busy and constantly do things, I end up taking on lots of projects, and then as a result, not all of them make a lot of progress. So one of the biggest wins that I've ever had in being in the business is learning how to focus and really stay on course. And so for the past 8 years, since I've really been in Amway, in the business, I've not let anything distract me. Even as I've taken whenever I took a promotion or took a new job, I always made it super clear that I would never work past a certain time, that my loyalties were to my family. My business is for my family, so I'd say my loyalties were to my family, so I need to be out by 4:30, no exceptions, otherwise I'm not taking this. And as opportunities would come my way, I would turn almost all of them down. I had 2 opportunities to double my income in the corporate world at different times in my working career, and I turned them both down because they were both going to cause me to have to travel or work later than normal, and then that would make my business suffer. So I've learned how to focus, and that has helped me a ton, but I still battle things coming onto my plate. For instance, people asking me to hang out, little things like crappy things like doing taxes, or little stuff that comes up like that, things around the house, cleaning the house, having maybe just cooking food. Maybe I want to I want to launch a new product in our online education business, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, and kind of forgetting it's going to take me 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours of cumulative work just to write a sales letter for the thing and put it up, and this is one that's going to work. And so it's really easy for me to add all these things onto my plate, and the next thing you know, it's I started the week with my to-do list of 15 things that I needed to get done that week, or 10 things, and as days goes on, I find myself adding to the weekly to-do list, and it's I'll finish the week, and it's crap, I didn't finish all this stuff. But what's worse is that each day I'm okay, well, if I just kind of segment out 30 minutes here, I can write 5 messages or 5 emails or whatever. If I segment out an hour here, I can go pick up this thing and probably meet someone out there. And I'm basically, what I'm having is a day of let's say 12 hours of productive time, because I'm trying to keep a few hours that are just for me. If I have 12 hours of productive time, 10 hours of productive time, I'm splitting 3 things in there. I'm splitting up my agency, so me doing online marketing work for clients, splitting up my online marketing stuff for my own stuff, my own education products. So I call that my funnel. funnels. There's quite a few of them. I call that the funnel. And then I've got the network marketing business, the Amway business itself. And when asked, my number one priority is the Amway business. It's true. It has the best long-term return. It has the most like spiritual reward, if you will. Like I love, not every aspect of the business do I love, but I love like when you get when you find someone that is like awesome and you want to really spend time with, you like truly friends with them, and then you have like a team of those people and all together at once. It's super, super fun and awesome to share with them and watch them share with each other and just be a part of their lives. So it's definitely the most like, spiritually rewarding of the bunch. What I found myself doing is like every morning I would like work on the agency for 4 or 5 hours, and then I would maybe work on the funnel for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and that varies. Sometimes I can go way up if I'm building something, way down if everything's running smoothly, like to 0. And then I would find myself working the business for a few hours at night. And just the way that like my personality works, I don't know if it's my personality, maybe some of you can relate, maybe you can't. Like doing that is super exhausting, and I've done that forever. Like that is just the way I have operated. I always had, before a few years ago, but for the majority of my career, I've always had a job plus the business. So I would work the job from like 9 to 5, and then I would work the business from like 6 to 11. And I always had two things going, and it always felt like a little bit of a split, but it was honestly a little bit easier because I would just zone out at my job and then just, put all my like mental energy to the business. But it's like now I've got 3 things asking for my mental energy. So you know what I did? I was just like, okay, chatted with Ashley. As of right now, believe it or not, the agency is the most profitable of the 3. Amway has the biggest long-term reward. The funnel has the potential for the biggest short-term reward, and like most hands-off, because when it's working really good, like it's the coolest thing ever. But the agency is like, it can charge a fairly pretty penny, hundreds of dollars an hour, and you bill out, 30 hours at a time, and I outsource a lot of it. So, I mean, it's, financially speaking, it's the most beneficial right this second of the 3. But it's the one that I want to do the least long term. It's stressful handling clients, to be honest. I have a pretty low-key or like low-stress personality, so I don't really freak out like heavily, at least for a long period. I freak out initially, but I don't freak out after that. But it is stressful, like freaking out over a client or what they want, and I don't want to do that all the time. I don't want to do that long term. And so Ashley and I kind of made a decision that, I'm not going to take on any new clients, 0. And in fact, I'm going to stop working on the majority of them. I'm only going to accept, there's like 3 clients that I like adore, I love. They probably know who they are. So if you're seeing this, we're still good. Everything we talked about is still okay. But like I'll work on their stuff. So if they, one of them's a very, it's an awesome marketing strategic agency that is starting to grow, and they brought me on for their very first project, and we killed it together. And now they're starting to grow and really take on some like big dogs. And I told them like, hey man, like you guys are absolutely amazing. They gave me all the rope I needed to go ahead and make it special, and it did. It worked great, and we worked awesome together. I said, hey, I'll work on your stuff absolutely, and let's do it. There's another gal who runs a online marketing agency who was one of my earlier clients, and so my rate is significantly less. I've never raised it with her, but she's awesome. Like we just get along super well, and I told her like, hey, I'm not taking anyone else, but I'll still work on your stuff for X amount of time, X amount of time per week or per month, and so that's been awesome too. But outside of that, like we're not going to take on anything else. I don't want the delusion of that. And so what that is leaving us that means that we cut the agency's time from, let's say I was spending 25 hours a week on it. I cut that down to like way less, like significantly less. Cut that down to way less. And instead of doing a little bit every day, what I'm trying to do is take all of that agency time and put it into one day, and then just put tiny little checkpoints like the other days. Because like if you're spending hundreds of dollars of someone's money on ads every day, like you got to check it. So do all the work one day, and then like every other day, just like spend half hour just checking stuff, tweaking things, making adjustments where needed, and then kind of buying the rest of my like cognitive budget back for those other days that I'm supposed to be working on priority number 1 and 2, which is the business and the funnel. So I'm trying that, and then another day, so the next day, which would be Tuesday, send every message out that I need to send as far as like to sponsor people for our business. And I'm talking about width here, because I can't control depth as heavily, but I can control our action. So instead of like every day sending out 5 to 10 messages for our business, I'm sending like 30 to 40 all in one day. Just boom, just hammer them all out. It takes a long time, especially if you're doing it well, or if I'm calling people, depending on my method of doing it. And then the rest of the week, because what you always find, everyone knows this, is like you don't get a hold of people that same day typically. It's typically like 5 to 6 days away that you'll actually talk to everyone, because people are still calling you back, they're starting to message you back. So hammer all of that out one day, and then just kind of deal with the aftermath of my burst the rest of the week. So, so basically like answering or responding to 3 to 5 calls a day versus trying to put them out there, which to me takes a lot less effort, because you just boom. And then the 2 other days is just straight up funnel work while when I'm working on it. And so like right now, that is the case, that we're building some new stuff, so it's taking some time. But even when I'm not going to be building, what I'm going to try to do is write all of the emails I want to send out within those 2 days, and then just schedule them rather than like constantly having to make them up on the day that I'm supposed to send it, or the day before. So what I basically have here is, I'm not in a position where I want to give up any of the 3. And so instead of giving up any of the 3 or living like I've been living, which is just kind of segmenting every day, which is like, well, instead of segmenting every day, how about I segment my weeks? And to me, I think that's going to be, so far it has been a lot more just like calm. It's been a lot more peaceful. I get to focus on one thing during the day, or one thing for the next 2 days, which is, like I said, it's more peaceful. I think we're going to get a lot more done, and then we'll go from there. So anyway, I'll give you guys an update as to how that transpires, and what actually happens with it, but I'm pretty confident it's going to be good. So it's good. Excuse me. I was going to say something else, but I totally forgot. So anyway, with that, I'm sure it was like probably the best thing I was going to say, and it's going to be really important. With that, I think we're all set. By the way, I heard a really stupid joke. I had a friend come in. He owns a contracting business, and he came in to fix the house, or a few things on the house, before we sold it. And he just like spits out these really corny jokes all the time, but they're actually, oh crap, I took the wrong exit. There's all this construction on this road that I'm about to get on, and I just remembered about it. This is just the way I usually go. What a buzzkill. See, all because of the joke. Shouldn't have said the joke. Anyway, he said, dude, man, I've been trying this new thing. When I go to sleep, I want to wear like a mask, like a blindfold. When I sleep, so I can keep the light out. He's like, the only problem is like, I just don't know if I can see myself wearing it. That's what we're leaving you with.